Alright, so this morning I worked out. I just kind of checked some emails and text messages a little bit. I did some wrist exercises is what I call them. Some OT, occupational therapy for my elbow, really, is what it was. Then I had an oil change early afternoon, ironically. And I say ironically because I think I just talked about this in yesterday's video, but I'll never forget having to ask my boss at the only 9-to-5, I'd say the only true 9-to-5 job that I ever had. I had to ask my boss one time. I said, "Hey Ben, I got oil change scheduled in 2 days or whatever it is at this time." And he goes, "Wait, let me check something." He goes, "Oh man, you gotta reschedule that." I'm like, "What do you mean? Like, it's planned." And he goes, "No, like, you have to request PTO like a week in advance to see if you can get a day off or a little time off of work." And that was a pivotal moment. Looking back, that's a pivotal moment in my life. Sorry. Remembering that one little quick conversation, because it made me realize that I never want to answer to anyone. And I always want to be able to create my own schedule, because I had already been exposed to the fact that was possible through previous jobs. And I just knew that I had to be my own boss. So ironically, today I had an oil change, and that was meaningful. Find meaning in the simple things. Words of advice from Colin. Then after my oil change, while I was at the oil change place, I was working. I was responding to emails and getting prepared for this evening's Crazy Sock Crew meeting, which was a blast. It was good to see people. It was the first one that we had in person in 4 or 5 months, I think. So it was super refreshing and really exciting to see all my friends in person instead of through a Zoom computer screen. And it was just cool to reconnect. We actually touched on a very personal and deep topic. We oftentimes will have roundtable discussions in our networking group in Crazy Sock Crew instead of like having a speaker every week, just because I think that roundtable talks facilitate true discussions and brainstorming, and it gets people to open up and talk about things they usually don't. And this week definitely fits that description, because the question that I posed was essentially it was asking everyone what sacrifices they have made and whether or not they regretted those, or how they dealt with making those sacrifices. Most in particular regarding the sacrifices made from starting their own business or building their own book of business, because everyone in Crazy Sock Crew is either a business owner, an independent contractor, a 1099er, or works for a corporation but has their own book of clients that they have to maintain still. So that brought up a lot of very deep and real conversations, which was really nice and very refreshing to have. I just thought I'd share mine with you guys. I had said that when I first started insurance, the first year I was in sales and insurance, I guess I should say, would be 2018. Yeah, 2018. And it sucked. I made like $25,000, I think, a little less. But after all my expenses and all my write-offs, I netted negative zero. Or, not negative. I netted less than zero. I was negative. And that's because I spent, I think, about $8,000 on leads that first year, and I put 40,000 miles on my car. I was hemorrhaging money and spending so much time, because that was the only way that brokerage that I worked for knew how to get business. Sadly. I mean, it worked, and those clients that I got from that brokerage would still be paying me today if I had stuck with that brokerage, but I didn't because I found out they were screwing me over with my commissions. That's a whole nother story. But from doing that, I realized that I was giving up a lot. I was working constantly. I'd wake up sometimes or I'd be on the road sometimes by 6 or 6:30 to be in a small town 2.5 hours away by 8:30 or 9, and then I'd work all day, setting appointments, door knocking the leads, or running appointments. But I'd be out door knocking sometimes until it got dark, which in the summer obviously is like 8:30, and I'd have a 2.5 hour drive back home. So I didn't really have a social life, and I didn't have any time to spend with my family. And that was definitely a sacrifice and a regret that I had. So come 2019, I decided to do things differently, and I switched to, I said, there's about 3 things I really don't want to do. I don't want to cold call ever again because it eats away at your soul and makes you feel terrible about yourself because people are rude and mean to you for no reason, even though you're literally just calling to try to help them or seeing if you can help them even. Don't want to cold call, don't want to drive that far away. I want to stay in town for the most part, and I don't want to spend money on leads. Which, if you talk to anyone else in insurance, they'd tell you, well, then you should get out of insurance because that's all insurance is, but it's not. I realized last year in 2019 that there was a different way, but it was just a slower way. That was okay because I was much more happy and I could build my life the way I wanted it to be built instead of focusing on work first and money first. And so in 2019, I decided to make a shift in my business model, and I switched to just doing networking, just going to a lot of morning coffees and then after hours events, and then having one-to-ones throughout the day with people I met at these big events and getting to know people and building genuine connections around Omaha and around my community. And that's worked out tremendously for me. Now, all of my business is referrals, aka word of mouth. Someone I meet at a networking event might not remember me until 3 months down the road. Their uncle says they need health insurance and they're asking this person, and then they think, oh shoot, I met Colin that one time. Or even better, even what's more likely is I see the same people networking at my Centersphere chapter or at a certain networking group every single week, and then we get to build a true relationship and have deep, real conversations. And then they're sending me business from their clients, their book of business, or from their friends or their family, because they see me all the time and they trust me. They know what I do. So that is a way for all those who watch this channel to see what building your own brokerage or getting an insurance looks like. There's so many different ways to do it. I'm lucky in that I don't have any expenses, really. I live in my mom's basement still currently at the time of this video. And I don't have any expenses. I don't have any commitments. I don't have a car payment. I paid for my car cash like 5 years ago now. I don't know, more than that, I think. And no kids. That's a big thing. Stay away from kids. They're expensive, apparently. So I've been told. But I don't have any expenses, so I am okay with not making much money for the first year or year and a half. Really, it'll be about the first 2 years where I won't make much money. I don't care though, because I'm 23 right now at the time of this video, and I plan to live till I'm 100. So I have forever. My timeline, I'm like here on the timeline that goes all the way off the screen. I have so much time left. And so a couple of years of grinding and eating shit, as Gary Vee says, is worth it in the long run. So that was something that I realized through that one first bad year of insurance, was that I'm going to be doing this forever, for a very long time. Insurance, I'm going to be doing insurance for a very long time. So why am I hating my life while I'm doing it right now at the beginning just to start out? Like, my life is my life can be way better, and it is fantastic now, because I started with the end in mind. I focused on the ideal life and the life I wanted, and I've built my work around my life, and it's awesome. So that was what I shared, is that I regretted essentially being a workaholic and avoiding friends and family for work. And I took that sacrifice and I said, I'm not going to sacrifice that anymore. And I flipped that. So that's what I shared at the meeting tonight. But other than that, is kind of slow day. Not slow, just a lot of computer work. A lot of emails, a lot of text messages, some email introductions, trying to help drive some business for other people, etc. But yeah, it's currently, oh my god, it's about 9 o'clock. I'm going to edit yesterday's video and hopefully upload that, and then head to bed. I'll probably throw on some Yes Theory in the background. Love that channel. If you haven't seen that or checked that out yet, go watch Yes Theory. It's a YouTube channel where these guys just are super genuine and nice and change people's lives. That's probably the best summation of them. But thank you all for watching. Sorry I was rambling a little bit. I appreciate you listening though. See you tomorrow.